Welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your weekly horoscope overview for the week of June 21st to June 27th. Now, this week a lot is happening, but before we begin, I would like to let you know that I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly video horoscopes, including monthly sun, rising sign video horoscopes. And you can watch all this on my YouTube channel. And also, I do request you to hit the subscribe button. Alright, so let's talk about this week. Now, this week we have an extremely important event, which is the full moon in Capricorn on June 24th. But before we get to that, let's talk about Mercury coming out of retrograde. Mercury gets out of retrograde on June 22nd. It has been in retrograde since May 29th of 2021. And when Mercury is in retrograde, communication slows down, work slows down, we can be confused, our thought processes can also slow down, gadgets can malfunction, all sorts of things can happen, and it's not the best time to start new things. It's also a time of review where we reprocess information from the past. The past can also come back into our lives during Mercury retrograde for us to understand it or close it out or make peace with it. So that's what we've been going through. And while Mercury was retrograde, a lot happened. Neptune squared the new moon solar eclipse on June 10th. It squared Mercury retrograde. It squared the sun, which means there was a lot of confusion, not necessarily for you, but the overall energy was that of confusion, because Neptune is confusing. Neptune can cause confusion, and in a square aspect, a challenging aspect, the confusion can really start to feel like a lot. And with Mercury retrograde, it only enhances the confusion if you're feeling that. So now as Mercury goes retrograde, all that confusion that we felt will start to ease off. We'll be able to see things more clearly now. And that's also because Venus will trine Neptune, has already trined Neptune. That happened between June 20th and 21st, I believe. June 20th, more like it. But so a lot of the confusion that we felt last week, especially from June 10th, and even before as Mercury went retrograde, will ease off this week, starting on June 22nd, which is a Tuesday. And also, before we move on, I want to mention that this week's energy is very different from last week's energy for two reasons. And that's because on June 20th, on Sunday, the sun changed signs into the sign of Cancer. Till Sunday, there was a lot of Gemini energy, a lot of stimulation, a lot of restlessness, a lot of little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because the North Node is there as well, so the Gemini energy was magnified. But as the sun has entered the sign of Cancer on June 20th, Sunday, the energy has become more introspective, more about finding our comfort, a slower energy. And I think that's a good thing. And also, as we entered this week, on June 20th, Jupiter went retrograde. And this is the time where the active learning process that comes with Jupiter when it's direct. Yes, Jupiter is gifts, it is blessings, it is healing, but it is also lessons. So as Jupiter has gone retrograde on June 20th, the lessons have eased up. It's the time to receive the rewards, the healings, the blessings, the gifts for all the work that we put in while Jupiter was direct. So this week's energy is slightly different than last week's energy. It's calmer, it's slower, it's more like, yeah, I've learned those lessons, now is the time to receive the healing, now is the time to receive the rewards. And by Tuesday, after Tuesday, the confusion that we've been feeling, the mental fog that we might have been feeling, the delusional energy that was all around us, the slow energy, the slow movement in communication has eased up. Okay, then moving on to June 24th, two important things happen. First is the full moon in Capricorn, and then we have Saturn sextile in Chiron. Now, Saturn has been sextile in Chiron since Feb. I think the The sextile came exact in Feb, and now it's come exact again on June 24th. And Saturn sextile Chiron is a healing to our identity through building a new life, through taking some sort of decision. And we started this building process, this decision process back in Feb, or even before, but definitely in Feb. And now is the next stage of that building process, because they are going to sextile once more, and that's when that process that started in February of taking a decision of building something that would heal our identity will be complete. So on June 24th, we reached the second stage in that process. And the second important thing, which is more important in my opinion, is the full moon in Capricorn. And this full moon in Capricorn is unlike any other we have seen. And that's because this full moon in Capricorn will reveal what happened in January of 2020. In January of 2020, Saturn and Pluto conjuncted, they met up, and these planets meet up once in 33 to 38 years. So when they meet up, it's a big deal. And they met up in Jan of 2020 in the sign of Capricorn, the sign that rules our material reality. So in a very powerful way, they changed something. They transformed our material reality. And with this full moon in Capricorn, we will truly understand fully what that transformation was. Yes, the transformation took place in January 2020. Yes, by October of 2020, that new life was very much present. And by March 28th of 2021, the past was completely done with of the old cycle before January of 2020. But this full moon in Capricorn is the culmination point of understanding what that new cycle is all about. Because this is the first time we have a full moon in Capricorn without the Libra energy. What do I mean by this? Saturn and Pluto conjuncted in the sign of Libra in 1982. And up until October of 2020, we were still carrying the Libra energy, the old energy of that cycle, although the new had begun. But in October of 2020, that old Libran energy that was lingering on till October of 2020 went away. And then by March 28th of 2021, that energy went away fully. This is the first full moon in Capricorn without that Libra energy. Last year, when we had the full moon in Capricorn, we did have the Libra energy still with us. This is the first time we don't. This is the first time without the past. We'll be able to see what this new beginning in Jan of 2020 was all about, what this cycle that will stay with us till 2053 is all about. So that's a big deal. And this full moon, although we'll discuss the aspects in the full moon video, this full moon is in, I believe, a sextile to Jupiter retrograde, which is positive, which means blessings, which means gifts connected to the past retrograde. And Venus at this point will also oppose Pluto, which means transformation. Transformation to all Venus-related things, transformation to our relationships, transformation to our finances, to our skills, to our self-worth, to our values, while we have this powerful new understanding of what happened in Jan of 2020. So that's a very powerful day, Thursday, June 24th, and the day may vary, maybe June 23rd to 24th, 25th, depending on where you're at in the world. Okay, so around, but June 24th is the day the event happens. And then on Friday, June 15th, Neptune is going to go retrograde. And Neptune is the planet of spirituality, of the other world. And what does Neptune want from us? It wants us to connect with the higher realm through love and compassion. That's what it wants. That's the lesson. That we are all connected. There are no boundaries. And we need to cultivate love and compassion. That's what Neptune tries to teach us. And when Neptune goes retrograde, the learning process of spirituality, of love and compassion, all the lessons ease off. We've done the work. Now is the time to receive the rewards. And Neptune is also the planet of delusions, addictions, drugs, confusion. So when it's direct, it can teach us a lot of lessons through these areas as well. And then when it goes retrograde, the energy of that confusion begins to ease off. So that's June 25th. And by June 25th, we'll have Pluto in retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Neptune retrograde, all outer planets except for Uranus are retrograde by now. And this means time for rewards, time to reap the rewards of the work we've put in. The energy is going to start slowing down. The active process of forging a path will slow down. Now is the time to start receiving. And then on June 27th, which is, I believe, a Sunday, Venus is going to change signs. It's going to enter the sign of Leo. Venus likes to be in Leo. It has fun there. Leo is a very fun-loving energy. It's an energy of the heart. It's a very passionate energy. So Venus likes to be in Leo. However, Mars is already in Leo at this point, and Venus is going to join Mars in Leo. But these two planets are going to oppose Saturn. It does not happen this week. However, we will build up to Saturn opposing Mars, Saturn opposing Venus, and we know the Saturn opposition to any planet can feel challenging, can require decisions, and we'll talk about that when it happens. But Venus changing signs means that the way we approach our love, relationships, projects, finances will see a shift in energy from a very introverted, finding our comfort, what makes me comfortable, what doesn't make me comfortable, approach to our love, relationships, projects, finances, self-worth, values, skills. We'll have a passionate approach to these things. We'll have an approach of what makes me happy, what's in line with my heart, what am I passionate about. And with that mindset, with that energy, we will approach all Venus-related matters, love, relationships, finances, self-worth, skills, values, business partnerships, legal projects. So that's the week for you, and it is an important week. It is a week where the confusion will lift off, where we will have a lot of clarity with the full moon. Especially, it's time for the rewards to start kicking in for all the work that we've put in, and I think we need that. And now I'm going to pick a card for the week, so let's see what comes up. Okay, this card keeps coming up. Building blocks. We are still building. It came up in 3 of my last week's daily horoscope readings. It's come up again. We are building this week as well. It's time to build. And as we build, we will start to receive the rewards as the planets begin to go retrograde. But we are building for the future. That's what this whole energy has been about for the past few weeks. And this week is another week of building, week of moving to the future. So that's the energy of the week. And to hit the subscribe button, I try to keep these as short as possible, just to give you a brief overview of the week. The details are in the daily horoscope videos, so you can watch those if you really want to know the energy of the day in detail. And have a great day. I will see you all next time. Bye.